Alrighty then, folks. Hello there, and welcome back to some more SD Gundam's G Generation Crossrays. Totally didn't just say Genesis and I had to re-record that or anything, but that did happen. So, yeah. So in the last episode, we got some money. So it is time to replace Blood's helicopter, which starts at level 4 for some reason. I didn't notice that at the time, but it was just like, hey, we have it, so let's use it. But, you know, we're going to stand that one by. We're going to go here to produce it. Apparently it remembers the cursor location because I was all happy about the Magnac last time, which this one lets it work in space. The Magnac only worked on Earth in the anime. I don't know if they changed that for Glory to the Losers or not, but they might have. So I've had a lot of time to think about this. You know, we could go for the Worker Jin, the Zuot, even the Helok Greys, which might get like actual grazes after a while. Though this isn't the Greys, this is the... Oh god, I can't think of the name right now. I don't know why. Like, if I wasn't recording, I'd probably be able to call it off the top of my head. You could also go for a Leo and go get one of the prize mobile suits. Which, I'm assuming this is like the Leo N or something. Or a Tyrion. Or the Rhodey. We're gonna go for the Rhodey, because Rhodey is best suit. Landman Rhodey is best suit, specifically, but yeah. And since these guys aren't high enough level to get any of the level 4 stuff, we won't do that yet. I'm really hoping there's like some cool stuff, like this is the Moodrock, not the Moodrock, I don't know what that would be, the Buster Gundam. Like, I know what they are in the original game, I don't know what they are in this one. But yeah, I think that should be good. Interesting. You can have more than... Oh. Alright, we're not going to go with that many because I think it'll make the battles a lot of fun. But you could have 8 units all in all. That's cool. That's like real cool. I'm not gonna say I don't want to. I honestly really do, but I'm not going to. It's for the best. Plus, it'll make this video not take like 20 minutes per turn. Oh, that's cool. So if you use this, it'll return them to level 1. That's interesting. Oh, and instead of ace points like in the previous games, you got those for having them be like best pilot, second best, third best. Instead of that, looks like you pay money. Interesting. And you can set which skills they're allowed to use. And, we have to pay money to use... You know those skills that we just picked up in the last battle? You have to pay money to get them. Which I find lame, but also really freaking cool because, like... Oh, hey, you're now, like, a third better commander. Or, like, you now are a better better shooter, actually. You have more defense. You're better at steering a ship for reasons. I don't know why you'd want that. But I think in this game, at least, having, like, your gunner have good stats is probably a lot better. Because the default hit chance on a mobile suit is an absolute garbage. Dude, Zeon is here. Fuck yeah. Alright, so we're gonna move... Well, we're gonna stand you by. We're gonna go grab Zeon. Or Xenon, as I should... He's Zeon Teagle, damn it. I'm gonna laugh if stat-wise he's actually worse than this one. But he's 155 command versus... She's a 146. She has better range, so all of the stats on the captain affect everyone else. They improve everyone else anyway. I don't know if it's direct or not. She's actually a better second in command than she is a primary. That's kind of hilarious. How are you? You're actually pretty garbage at everything but being the idol. So you see the auxiliary score? That's mainly what I'm going for with her. His communications is really good. So since he's communicator, that's the only stat that's needed. So literally, like, he could have a 0 on all his other stats and it wouldn't really matter. So yeah, I think we'll leave him as communicator. Her navigation's probably going to be good enough. Let's see. Yeah, so her navigation's good enough. His maintenance, K's is higher by a little bit, by 8, but I think that's just because she leveled up. So interesting to note, if you don't have a mechanic on your ship, you don't repair to full at the end of the turn. You don't repair at all even, which is kind of crazy. That tripped me up in the SEMA campaign, or the SEMA battle, I think. The Mayfly in space. I don't remember if that was in Genesis or not, but it is definitely in Spirits. And for this one, we're looking at Charisma. Weirdly enough, Al from 0080 is generally who I have as my idol, just because his Charisma is like crazy high. Plus, he gets an even higher bonus if he's in a Xeon warship. Or is he only get bonuses if he's in a Zaku? He gets like this skill that because he likes Zaku's, all his stats are counted as if they were 30 better. So it's kind of really useful. But she has an equal one to Rachel, so it doesn't really matter. So when you capture units, the radius at which you can capture them with the ship is determined by their charisma. I don't think I can buy an extra cargo bay, can I? There's also equipment you can put on all your suits. Start with some basic stuff, energy, more armor, which increases HP in this one, and educational computer, which increases evasion. I'm assuming the level 3 version of this is just called Veda. Ooh, MS boosters. If I wasn't thinking about buying mobile suits, I'd consider picking those up. Also junk parts, which these are useful if you don't want to upgrade your suit anymore. That is based off the Temray part that Temray gave Amuro in episode 48 or 38 of MSG before he fell down the stairs and died. Yes, Temray does die in the original. He had severe brain damage, so he wasn't the most intelligent person at that point. Oh. Okay, I don't think we can do this because it's the demo. Which kind of blows, but it is what it is. We'll deal with that later. Yeah, 311, so we can't level anyone up there. And we can't really upgrade anyone here. Okay, I know we could add another 4, I just don't want to. Because if we do, that means the raid group's gonna be really freaking good. I'm curious about something, though. Okay, so you see under Marks how it says leader. I was curious whether if we set him as it would be a leader of, you know, these 4. Whoops. It'd be a leader of these 4 guys. That is not the case. But yeah, so that's what we're gonna go with. We could do the dispatch, but like, I just don't want to. I know we could, and I might do that when I stop playing tonight. So when I come back tomorrow, play the next episode, it'll be there, but meh. But yeah, so because this is the trial, we can only select this one stage. Or this stage here, not this stage, like, we just can't. But if we wanted to replay this one, we could. Oh. Okay, so I was right that those were the only 2 units we could get. That being said, I'm pretty sure we kept the get bar. That's awesome, actually. That's, like, really cool. That fixes what I hated about that mechanic in the first place. So the get bar, originally you had to kill enough people to get the suit, and if you restarted the stage, you'd have to start over again. Like, it wasn't cool. The thing is there's a lot of those stages where there weren't enough people you could kill to get it. So it just wasn't worth trying. But now that they keep it, technically you could grind through it anyway. I like it. Like, that helps a lot. Also, I just noticed under stage, it tells you that this one is going to be in space. I approve. So I think we are going to be doing 00F this round. As soon as it lets me get there. Oh, okay, so this is the battle with Ali and then the Adula, or Aduhul. I don't know how you pronounce that one. So I actually went to the import store earlier today and looked into it. And as it turns out, they had one volume of 00F, of the first like book of 00F left. And because it hadn't sold in so long, it was on double discount where the thing was worth 50 cents. So it's now sitting on my shelf over there. But I kind of rambled on a bit in this episode, so I think I'm going to restart it. But somebody was asking me about doing something like this, so I'll just kind of lop it into one and, you know, you guys can skip the episode. I'll throw a, like, 0.5 onto it or something, or 1.5. I don't know. I'll call it something. But, so... This is the default chip. This is the Caliverse. Originally, the Caliverse was based off of an Arc class, or one of the Victory versions of the Clop class, which was the Arc class. There were carriers from CCA, the Clop class being a scaled-down version of the Rock Hallam based off combat data from the Alexandra, which was a Titan suit, along with the Dogos Gear, which was also a Titan's ship, but the construction of the Dogos Gear was the largest ship the Federation had constructed at the time. That changes in Victory, where they have a kilometer-long ship, the Dogos Gear only being about 600 meters. But eventually the Dogos Gear, one was created and used by Shirako and Jamatov, that was either destroyed in the battle or got traded over to Titan's Remnants. There is a side story that says that happens, but we see on screen it get blown up, so shrug. 3 were constructed. The second one, which was the General Revel, or the Abraham Jonaham Revel, was finished in 0092, 3 years after the fall of the Titans. Kind of on a shoestring budget, and it was kind of lackluster, to say the best. That would eventually be given over to Londo Bell and used as Admiral Bright's flagship before he gets removed from Londo Bell to be in control of the Southeastern Asia theater for Hathaway's Flash, which is coming out next year. The only reason I mentioned that. So the mobile suit here is the Phoenix Gundam. This was the pinnacle of development of the Phoenix line, though when Mark Gilder, or Mark Girder, or whatever you want to call him, piloted it, he was able to increase it to its final form, which even allowed it to transform into a pseudo-mobile armor form and burst into flames. I think the Master Phoenix is in this one, but I don't know. The Master Phoenix was also taken by a computer program in Overworld and upgraded into an even better form, which had, like, swords and stuff. But it was a computer program, so, I mean, I don't really consider it too much canon. The Phoenix Zero was based off of the Phoenix Gundam. I believe it was actually created based off of the vague data they had for the Phoenix before they actually were able to construct the Phoenix. But a lot of the parts of it were a failure, and it had a lot of bugs and issues. It was originally piloted by Mark before they could reproduce the Phoenix Gundam, and then eventually given over to Elias in in between F and the next game, which I think was M. So a lot of that happened off screen. Elias originally was piloting a Tornado Gundam like K is. This is the Phoenix Zero. This is a variation made off of it, and in one of the games used as an evil version, as an antagonist suit. You only fight it once, though, before they get a Phoenix themselves. Or, technically, they get the Barbados themselves, which, unlike the one in IBO, is slightly different. It looks like a peacock, and it has, like 5-meter long shoulders. It's kind of crazy. Look it up. Pretty cool. Well, originally, they had 2 Tornado Gundams here, which were the 2 Tornado Gundams that were taken away from a Federation warehouse during UC. It was actually in November of 0079, as they were stored either backwater North America or backwater Australia. I don't remember exactly which, but they were used to study Xeon underwater technology. So they have a lot of parts similar to the GOG, but they're also in their own right a Gundam, and mostly used in space. They're also apparently pretty shit underwater in this game, but they can go underwater. There were 2 of them, and they both disappeared from the warehouse at the same time. No one really knows what happened to them. They were in MSV. And then, eventually, they just kind of showed up in the SD Gundam games. They got, co-opted, and eventually, I think the story was created to make sense of the SD Gundam games. I don't know if full-size artwork for them exists or not, but I'll have to look into that. I don't think it does, though. But yeah, that's the vague story of the suits. As far as the character goes, Mark is a pacifist hippie who is an Amuro-level new type, except for, he bitches about combat and war and all that kind of stuff, and he will literally let somebody kill him. Elias or Elia or Ellis or whatever you call her, I'm gonna keep calling her Elias because that's how I translated it back in the day. She was formerly of the exam program and a member of Xeon till she was picked up by Mark. If in SD Gundam G Generations F, I believe it is, if you put her in the exam system, she sounds something like, "Oh, so they finally got this working." She is a cool and collected kind of person, though she goes action girl, though most people think it's kind of an act. She just kind of makes it up and then breaks mid-sentence sometimes. It is what it is. She has a crush on Mark, but he never notices, and they never gone more into the story than that. Renlo, however you say his name, he's a dude. He just kind of exists, and no one really talks about him. Him and Kay have kind of a relationship going where they trust each other. The thing with Renlo, though, is in Wars, if you put him in the noir, he says something like, "Oh, this is like my old suit." So I think they were trying to go something for him being from Cosmic Era, which hadn't been the case beforehand, and he used to be a member of Kuraba. For the record, Mark is also a member of Kuraba. He's even wearing the jacket, but doesn't have a signifier in this one. But if you go back to Spirits, he has the Kuraba sticker on his jacket. Renlo was also a member of Kuraba and just kind of a mercenary. Literally no information for him at all. But I think they were trying to turn him into a Cosmic Era person, and they just kind of abandoned it, because none of them have personalities right now. Kay's character, and why I like her more than Claire, is she was originally the mechanic who piloted a mobile suit because she had to. And her and Renlo kind of had a thing going where they trusted each other. One of the auto-generated characters who had the same voice actor as Gato, in I want to say M? One of the earlier games on the PlayStation 1. If you had them do a combined attack, they'd have dialogue together where they kind of flirted. And then, a game or so later, she just disappears. She goes back to being the mechanic on the ship, if you want her and you want to, go through the roulette of figuring out which character you're going to get for hitting create character. And so my headcanon is she and that guy got together, and they just kind of quit this weird, magical time travel-y stuff. Though we don't quite know what's happening with the characters in this game. In the earlier versions of the game, there was a time travel thing going on, where, the characters, they'd go from battle to battle, and we wouldn't kind of know why, but both Bright and Relina point to that being a thing, and like they know it's the ship, but they don't know anything about the ship, and they just don't question it. Well, so my headcanon of this is they keep getting pulled from place to place, but there's time in between the jumps for them to like repair mobile suits and get healed up and, you know, not go crazy. But there's like a perpetual supply shortage. So when they stop to go into battle, like as soon as the battle's over, they just start scavenging whatever they can to get enough food to survive for the next, you know, until the next jump where they can do it again. That'd be cool, right? I started writing fanfiction to that last night. One day I'll get something done. Just not today. In World and Overworld, it became a computer program where the ELS and Amelodia, I can't remember her name exactly, but it's AM something. She was a virus corrupting the program, and her whole thing was she just wanted to be free. She was tired of, you know, fighting the same things over again, watching people die over and over again. Which makes sense. And then the main character, what was the name? Master Phoenix or something like that? Went and would stop her. And the main players were trying to do that kind of stuff. And the characters just kind of existed in that world. And then in Genesis, and in this one, I don't think we're going to get anything about it. But we might. I doubt it, though. But yeah, that was kind of a recap of what I talked about when I cut out in the last episode. It would be fun. You know, we got the Spinner Roadie. We'll hopefully get the Landman Roadie by the end of this. If not, it is what it is. Since I'll probably be playing this on PC, most likely I'll be starting over again anyway. Or even if I don't play this on PC and I still play this on PS4, I won't be continuing the save. So I'm just doing whatever because I can at this moment. But anyway, folks, if you enjoyed the episode, if you like, if you didn't enjoy, you should dislike. I'll be back for an actual episode. That one will probably come out first, and then this one will come out after, but I haven't decided yet. Maybe I'll have them come out at the same time. It's up in the air. Anyway, though, folks, good night.